Nancy? When did you first start having problems?
From the first day, Your Honor, she didn't have the month for the rent for the first month, and she
didn't have first month's rent?
Yeah.
And was that something that you asked her to pay up front before moving in?
Yes, and she said she had it, so I called her and said, oh, you can start moving in today if you want to. And I'll give you the keys, and she said she had it, so I
exactly.
went and we walked through the house, and
that's the nigga that play with Ticino.
Ready to move in, so I gave her the key, and when I asked for the money, she said, oh, I don't have it, but I'll have it tomorrow.
Okay, and you would take the key back at that point?
No, I trusted her. I don't know why, but
this was your first time meeting her, correct? So why would you trust someone you knew for 2 minutes?
Well, from the application, it looked like they were people that were working, and I thought that they would have the money, you know?
Okay, so how many people moved in addition to the defendant into the home initially?
Bro, you finna have to hold him, man.
Her boyfriend and 2 kids.
So what happened? Did you ever get your
And
first
he got that nigga nasty with that playmaker.
So 100, 200, 400.
The first month was paid.
Nah, bro. I've been watching this nigga today on the tools. I'm telling you.
Started having issues.
That nigga nasty. Look. I know it ain't his regular bill, bro, but I'm trying to tell you.
You gave her a $600 security deposit, and you say that.
Bro, he nasty with that.
Didn't make a walk-in before somebody was moving their stuff out.
If your rent was $1,200 a month, so how much did you pay for the first month when you moved in? $600 or $1,200?
No, $1,200.
Zero.
$1,200.
Coming up.
Yeah, they call.
Excuses.
Because I stopped working.
Your Honor, there were excuses from the beginning.
You have an excuse for everything.
Look.
Plaintiff Celia.
You gonna have to hold that nigga, bro? You want me to hold that nigga for you?
Trashed the house. She's suing for unpaid rent and property damage.
Cause that means you ain't finna be nowhere near the paint.
An agreement to allow late payments, but was suddenly evicted.
When we moved in, I moved in with my grandparents. That's one of the main issues that I moved in. My grandpa started getting sick, so I have to stop working. So I told her, you know what, I'm having issues.
No, he's not slow to shoot. He ain't slow to shoot, bro.
Your Honor, there were excuses.
That nigga's shooting out there.
First day, she didn't have the rent.
I'm gonna tell you that. Look, he's shooting out there, bro.
I decided that, you know, it was the first month, so maybe she'll catch up. But it was
we can't play size on the center.
Yeah, because January, my grandpa passed away.
But the thing that I did on
hold on a second. January, your grandfather passed away?
Yes. Okay. Then after that, like, I made an agreement when I told her that I was because, like I said, my grandpa, January, my goddaughter, February, my grandma, April, and then my husband left me. So that's when I told her, you know what? I'm moving out. I can't make
I know we ain't about to have 6. I'm gonna tell you that.
You know about her grandparents, but I couldn't take it anymore.
And that's why I was taking responsibility of what I was owing her. That's why I made this letter saying, you know what, I know I owe you $400 for April, and then I owe you 17 days for May. I knew that.
May I see the letter? Why would you hand me the letter? During the time period that you lived there, did you ever pay
Nah, bro.
the full amount of rent for 1 month? Did you ever pay $1,200 in a single month?
No.
Okay, so it sounds like you actually had a landlord. There are a lot of landlords that would have put you out a long time.
But I'm telling you, bro, I was just watching this nigga play the tools.
You had a landlord who was willing to work with you.
And he wasn't playing with Hollywood.
$155 in April rent. You're also suing for $865 prorated May rent.
That nigga was playing with a guard, bro.
I gave her a 3-day notice on April 15th, so she had to be out by May 15th.
He wasn't playing twos with now one of them.
I do. I paid. I only had paid her half. I think a little bit over half. And I was only. Oh wait, for May?
No, it's May.
No, I did nothing.
Now you are also suing for damages.
Yeah.
You say that there are $735 worth
I know we up, bro.
materials you had to purchase.
I know we up right now, bro. We gotta win this game.
Of the damages, but the worst thing was it was infestated with roaches where they were falling on us when we walked through the house.
Yes.
Okay. You have
Yes. She even left. She took out the food from the refrigerator and left it on the counters.
So she kicked me out.
Even meat, and there were maggots. There were maggots right there.
Did you leave the?
Yeah, I hope you didn't dab down.
No, she knew about the roaches. She told me that.
So the answer is yes.
No, I mean, she knew about the roaches when I was leaving.
Yeah. Fight.
When you moved in,
We started having.
This is real comp right here.
when you moved in,
This is what I've been waiting on right here. I want to see where I'm at. I want to see where I'm at, bro.
You had 30 days. You had 30 days, and you didn't take all your things out yet.
didn't appear because you
Like, I don't even want to guard this nigga I'm guarding. They ain't even finna get this nigga the ball.
roaches, maggots,
when I moved in.
etc. Is that true?
No, there
Let's
was
look at
roaches
pictures.
when I
Let's look at the photos.
No, you ain't finna be able to hold that nigga, bro.
What is this a photo of?
That's the kitchen.
That's how you
Nigga, nah, nigga. I know you ain't thinking you about to do that, nigga. I ain't.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? That's y'all game?
What is
That's y'all game, nigga?
Who took the photo?
I did.
Nigga, nah, he cooked.
Why did you leave all the stuff?
My nigga cooked, bro.
Take everything.
What is this a photo of?
That was a crack.
Look, they doubling and everything.
The wall of the garage was her car.
I don't remember that.
Oh, bro, you can't be doing that, bro. You can't be doing that, man.
I didn't.
Come on, bro.
About it? No, there's a photo.
No, I didn't know about it.
Ugh.
What is this a photo of?
Roaches. The roaches.
Man, sit up. Do whatever you need to do, bro.
Interesting.
A little bit of
What room was this in?
I believe that's the kitchen.
But when I took the photos, I just.
Oh, bro, let's switch, bro. Let's switch, bro.
Abandoned the place.
You can't hold him, man.
A dog.
There was a dog. You left a dog inside of
Because
the
I was supposed to go back and get all my things, and she just told me
When?
you can't.
Oh, my. I ain't even try to do that.
That's what she took over.
I ain't even try to do that.
I can understand leaving a pair of shoes. Or,
No, I know.
Bro, you gotta grab my man, man.
in their home and move out. Like, who needs a dog?
Not you. I'm talking to Rat.
You just seem to have so many. You have an excuse for
Lord have mercy.
everything. No matter what I ask you, you literally do not take responsibility for
I am taking
anything. No,
responsibility.
you don't.
I am
don't.
Thank you.
I'm here, and I told her, you know, this
Bro, come on, man. Come on, bro.
Here.
There were just
I wanted to start
excuses
making
and
payments.
lies, and
When I
I was full
Even
of
if you
it.
are going through a rough time and you don't
Are you on the mic, bro?
You don't have to leave someone's home in disgusting conditions.
What, bro? What are you doing? Man, I can't, man. I can't.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff. I'm going to award you $1,135 in back rent and $500 in damages, and I'm ordering you to pay her this money since you are working now and you're making
No, nigga. No, nigga, ain't none of that.
judgment for the
No, nigga, I'm in your bumper. No, nigga, no. Yeah, you can have all. Oh my gosh, man.
Don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.
God dang, man.
Today on Judge
Let's
Faith,
go, bro.
the drama
Come on,
is way
man.
beyond the videotaping of
Come
this
on, bro.
playwright's opening night.
The night of the play, Frederick came in like 30 minutes late.
Actually came in 10 minutes late.
Wait, so he came late
Ain't
and
nobody
left
stunned
early?
all
And
that.
later, this couple did major work on the house they were renting.
Windows had to be concrete had to be
Now he
installed,
playing with
door
me.
frame in the basement, patches, holes. There were numerous things.
But when they asked the landlord for their deposit back, he said no way.
Me and my wife drove by and my door
Wow.
was locked. when I saw my fence that they were supposed to.
Come on, man.
The only thing you have in writing about the fence is that a fence is installed.
It's stuff like that right there,
She
man.
graduated first in her law school class.
You should have shot
Became
that.
a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff
These niggas in this little trash dribble between the legs is trash.
Defendant Frederick Burnham says he owes her nothing because she didn't understand the process and she harassed him.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in
Wow.
session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Tarrant versus Burnham.
Thank you, Barbara.
Yeah, it's over, bro. They playing around.
Suing the defendant, Frederick Burnham,
Yeah.
for $550
They playing around,
to
bro.
refund you for the work he did to create a DVD of the stage play you created.
Yes.
Okay, why don't you tell me what happened?
Actually, I'm gonna go back 10 years ago when I wrote my first stage play.
They played around,
I
bro.
wrote it as a fundraiser for my church. And so at the time, we didn't have enough people in our church to bring this
We got cooked.
stage play forward. As the place sat back there, the church
That's where we
got
at
bigger
with Tom.
and bigger.
We got
And
cooked.
so my bishop brought out the play and said, now, Sister Tarrant, I think it's time we put this play on. So I said, yes, this is it. I get a chance to put it out.
I do too, bro.
Is there an answer?
Okay. And
Anyway,
can you tell me a little bit about what the play's about?
yes, it's about chaos that's going on all around the church.
Bro, I saw you out there cooking, bro.
And so with everything,
I ain't gonna lie to you,
going on
man. I saw you out there
in the
cooking.
church, he's not doing what he's supposed to do. So everybody's looking for an answer.
Oh, that's my homeboy right there.
That's the answer.
Okay. So you try to call out the deacons a little bit?
Yeah, the deacons and everybody else that was around that church too. The bench
Look,
warmers and everybody.
Train, come on, bro.
Okay, that's fair. So you're like the female Tyler Perry.
I'm trying to get there.
Well, everyone has to start somewhere, right? Everyone has to start somewhere. So good for you.
Yeah.
So at some point you meet the defendant and decide to hire him to record your play so you could sell DVDs and have it memorialized.
Low key, low
Okay, tell me
key,
about that agreement.
low key. I gotta switch my badge and I gotta put clamps on.
supposed to shoot the footage
That is
so
what
you
we
can
agreed
send it
to.
out.
Okay, so
Just
you
get
Hold
the
up.
DVD
Hold up.
made and
I'm
from
gonna give her
the
the footage.
DVD.
I gotta wait for them. I was waiting for them to leave.
I was just gonna say,
He was
process
gonna make
works.
other DVDs so I could sell at the play and also at a red carpet event that I lost sales on.
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning? How do you know the defendant? Is he a church member as well?
Oh God, no.
I'm a church member, just not her church.
I don't know. I don't know with all these fears. Okay.
So how do you know him?
Okay, my stepdaughter.
Okay.
I asked her, does she know somebody who does videos? And she told me about Frederick.
Is that your business? Is that what you do?
Yes, I do full multimedia flyers, graphic design, and video.
What's really cracking is, bruh, we can't make no mistakes.
It's the only unhappy.
That's what's really happening, bro.
So what was the agreement? What was the price and what did he agree to do?
Okay, the price was $450, and that was to shoot the video and give me a DVD.
Okay, did you agree to that?
No, I don't agree to that.
Was the
I
price $450?
It was $450. I was hired to shoot the play.
Bro, he ain't. They ain't doing nothing off
So
ball.
you were to record
This
it
nigga's dribbling.
and provide her with a way to make copies so she could
Yeah, so
sell
she duplicated
DVDs.
it.
So what happened?
I'm saying, look at the game, bro.
Wouldn't work on video.
All his scoring is from dribbling.
Tell me what happened. Take me back
Okay.
to the night of the play. You said that's when things got
Okay, the
bad.
night of
That nigga ain't running around and somebody passes him the ball. This nigga's dribbling, shaking niggas, and shooting.
30 minutes late,
took me
my
10 minutes to
minister
set up.
music videos, the whole thing.
Had the play started?
Yeah. Professional professional.
Bro, we can, bro. I'll stop that, bro. You saw me in his bag, right?
They were in a new church.
I was in his chest for a second, bro.
Just put the address into Google Map like you would normally do.
You have to understand, you missed the first 10 minutes.
All we gotta do is do it early, bro. We do it early, we straight.
I wouldn't have an excuse for that, but that's the reason that I missed it.
It's not
Cause he the one doing the scoring, bro. We stop him from scoring,
all right.
we win.
And he closed down before the play was over. He's supposed.
Wait, so he came late and left early?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you do when you go to church all the time?
See, that's the thing, though. I record the whole play. She's talking about that I missed the curtain call.
That's professional.
This a nigga we gotta play against Ticino.
They told him the lights and cheering and everything like the play was over.
Cause I'm trying to put the money up, bro.
Lights start cheering. You don't talk to anyone. You just pack up your stuff and leave.
That's what he did.
Yeah, he won the guys.
All right.
Yeah, I missed the curtain call.
Okay, that's strike 2.
He missed the curtain call. Well, professionals know that the play began at the beginning and it ends at the end of the curtain call.
Coming up on Judge Faith.
Bro.
Does neglect lead to threats?
We can beat these niggas, bro. Ray, why ain't you talking, man? Is you smoking?
One of the steps going up, I guess they're just little things.
Your Honor, you do that yourself. In the video on the day that we left, you can see going up the stairs that carpet is not like that at all.
Let me see the video.
Yeah, nah, your big ain't equipped to handle that nigga right there, bro. He out there moving like a guard, bro.
The plaintiff harassed him.
What he actually recorded, was that at least good?
No, it was not.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you now, my minister of music recorded better than he did. And when he was pan in, it was jerky. It was jerky on the footage. And there was sometimes the heads was cut off on the
nigga, look, the first game I was nervous, bro. I ain't even finna be nervous this game.
Listen, I came for the rehearsal, right? They didn't have everybody for the rehearsal, so I come to the play. They got somebody run from the back that's at the bottom of the stage. The play was only supposed to be on the stage.
Do you have a copy of the DVD now?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the footage. Out of focus. I mean, I just can't get over the 3 audience members whose heads are in the.
I was going to mention that.
That's how
in the movie theater.
That's how it's set up. That's how
this looks kind of like one of those bootleg DVDs you buy on the street where someone's sitting in the movie theater recording in the back. So what happened? You get the footage. What's the problem after that?
Every DVD that he tried to present to me.
Floor General does.
Okay, and the problem was it wasn't a complete DVD at that time?
It was, but movie was separate. I don't know.
Well, how did you get the footage that you missed to include on the DVD?
That's the footage we just seen, the minister shot. And she agreed that we would use that beginning of the footage.
That's not it.
Bro, we finna stop that. Bro, we about to win.
So you piecemealed the play together using various other people's footage that you missed.
Yeah.
And what is your reason?
All you gotta do is hit that 3, bro. You hit that 3.
Understand the process of everything.
Train wreck.
And then,
I don't know, bro.
In the midst of everything,
you gotta stop the niggas from coming inside.
Saying this, that, third, saying she got.
And you gotta hit the 3 too.
Because he was not giving me what we agreed to.
So what was the ultimate problem with the DVD?
It would play, it would freeze, it was the
Cashed out.
Separate. I don't know what you call that.
Why they about to lose?
Okay, tell me like voicemail.
Hey, this nigga finna hit a 3, bro.
I invited him to come over to
voicemail. You say she left you. Did you bring that with you?
He about to.
invited him to come over to
Oh, he missed it.
Never would.
Oh, they got the rebound.
See the game that you're trying to play.
It's over.
I know everything about it. But that's okay.
Oh, man. How they beat him?
I know everything about you, so. And Corey, I will teach you.
All they need is a 2 of these niggas trying to shoot a 3.
I respond to every
They about to lose. They about to lose, bro. They nervous too. They nervous too.
Me?
Yeah, they nervous too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You should have been there early enough to catch it from the very beginning. She shouldn't have to pay you for your services when she had to piecemeal the DVD together.
That's it. Oh, they don't want to win. They don't want to win.
How much in sales did you lose on this, Miss Tarrant?
I'm going to say $100.
I'm going to order you, sir, to return.
Who did that? Who did that?
The amount that she paid you for the DVD.
Who did that?
$100 in loss of DVD sales.
Wow, man. What did you doing, Rex?
Court costs every week, okay? That's it. That's Your Honor. Thank you.
Plaintiff Kevin Smith and his fiancée Gabrielle Mink are suing their former landlord for the return of the deposit on a...
Bro, who hit Circle, man?
Defendant Armand Ogiev and his wife...
Who hit Circle?
...say their tenants left their property a disaster, so they are keeping the deposit and countersuing for damages.
Wow, bro.
Plaintiffs, you say your former landlord owes you for a security deposit and loss of wages. You are suing him for $1,500. Mr. Ochiev,
I was watching the game, bro. I ain't even had a stick in my hand.
The lease agreement. In fact, you have a counterclaim.
Look, and these niggas ready to run because they almost lost.
For property damage.
They done because they almost lost.
Why don't you start and tell me about the property?
Your Honor, in February of 2013, I found the home on Craigslist. I was about 6 months pregnant at the time. And it was a cute little home.
You can't add them niggas, man. These niggas divas,
minor repairs that needed to be done.
Hey, divas.
Okay, so did you end up signing a lease?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a copy?
I do. And initially, we put down roughly $2,500 after the security deposit, first month's rent, and we had to pay for a stove.
How much was it?
And they hopped off because they almost got beat.
$1,000.
And how much was your rent, monthly rent?
$915.
And this was a one-year lease?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Next on Judge Faith.
That was a clear hole, and when the inspector came down, that was actually, you could see out through it. On the other side of it...
That was a condition of him coming into the property.
Okay.
Bro, they left because they almost got beat.
Gabrielle Mink are suing their former landlord, Armand Ogiev, and his wife for a full refund of their rental deposit.
He ain't finna do nothing.
Disaster and are countersuing.
So what was the date you actually moved in?
We did not move in until April the 15th.
Dang, man.
Okay, and that's the date that the lease starts.
We moved in on the 21st, but the lease says it was the 15th. The only reason why we had to move in on the 21st was because he got the inspection, and then he gave me a list from the inspector stating that in order to move in, windows had to be replaced, concrete had to be installed in the door frame in the basement, patches, holes, and he told me that we cannot move in until they were done.
Okay, so at the end of the lease, was there a walkthrough?
He wasn't even in the right city.
West! The West is the best!
April. Our lease ended up on the 15th of April. We did a walkthrough by ourselves as we walked out the door.
Okay, so you never did a walkthrough with the defendant?
We never did.
But he contacted you a few days later and said that he was keeping...
This is where the niggas be at.
Why did you keep their security deposit? What was your reason?
First of all, I apologize. I couldn't be there on the 14th of April to do an inspection.
Well, I remember Poor Boy Sin used to be in here every day, bro. I'd be like, man, with this nigga...
Early in the morning, I came out there. And me and my wife drove by, and my jaw just...
I'd be like, would this nigga just go somewhere, bro?
Install. I mean, it looks like a chicken fence.
Well, tell me about that. You said they were supposed to install a fence. Was there an agreement?
I'd be like,
I agreed with him and I
wish Poor Boy Sin just get out of here, bro.
Initially, when we did the walkthrough, because I was 6 months pregnant and I'm about to have a small child, and the house was not enclosed, I asked.
He is going to 10 or 15.
Do you have pictures of the work that you said you did?
Yes.
Okay, because I want to see the enhancements you made to the property, and I want to see that.
The deposit was going to be $1,500 and the rent was going to be $850. So we agreed that since we couldn't pay the $1,500 deposit, that we would pay more in rent.
Oh yeah, they definitely don't.
Instead of the $850.
Made up for the $500.
And what is this a photo of?
This is the basement. That was where the AC unit lines come in from the outside. That was a clear hole, and when the inspector came down, that was actually, you could see out through it. I patched that up myself, and on the other side of it,
condition of him coming into the property.
Okay, that's fine.
I patched the door frame too.
Be clear about the enhancements that they did, but you don't dispute.
No, we looked horrible out there, y'all.
Next photo.
That's a window in the basement that is, and that's in glass blocks in the hall, and several of those blocks were broken out, and according to the St. Louis City Code, all of that had to be filled in on both sides because if there were glass, like blocks there, you couldn't just put a piece, like one piece of glass there, it had to be double-sided.
Next photo.
There was nothing, that top deck, there was nothing there. I actually customized the top part of it and painted it, sanded it down, and installed it myself. There was nothing there.
That was the agreement we had for you to move in the house.
Well, I understand that you say that's the agreement. I want to see what the enhancements that they made. So it's not an
Yeah, he moving too fast to be a part
I want to be able to see them for myself. So I want to address your counterclaim now, because you're saying that when the plaintiffs moved out, there were a lot of damages to the home and that you had to rebuild the fence. What was the problem with the fence? I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm his wife and business partner.
Okay.
I'm Liana Kenyon.
Okay, why don't you have a seat for a second, ma'am? I want to go through some of the counterclaim with your husband. So what was the issue with the fence?
The fence was real too thin, okay? No gates, and it's not old.
Do you have pictures?
Yes, I do.
Let me see the picture.
And Your Honor, we drove by the house before flying out here. The fence is still there. And the way that the backyard is set up, there are large concrete paths. You cannot put in a gate in there. As per our agreement, the only thing that was stated about the fence was that it not be a privacy fence.
That was it.
Okay.
I did not put, yes.
Yes, please step up to the lectern.
Okay, like his fiance said, they asked for a fence themselves because they had baby, right, coming.
Let's put these up on the
way.
Flat screen.
It's supposed to be childproof fence. That's my understanding. And fence should be enclosed space, right? Fenced area.
Is this the picture of the fence?
Yes.
Okay. What's the issue there? You just don't like it?
No, we like the color, it's fine. But the quality is not good.
Well, the issue is the only thing you have in writing about the fence is that
man, I ain't dealing with him right now,
you
bro.
not include a specific detail about the height, the color, the type of material they needed to use, the quality, nothing. All you said, all you wrote in the agreement was that a fence needed to be installed, and I'm looking in this photo, there's a fence.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
You also have an issue with the carpet. Let me see the photo, the damage to the carpet. Okay, what is this a photo of?
I just took one of the steps going up. I guess they just little things.
Your Honor,
did you do that
yourself? In the video on the day that we left, you can see going up the stairs that carpet is not like that at all.
Let me see the video. When was this video taken?
The day we moved out. It was April the 12th.
That carpet doesn't show the date.
Immaculate in this video.
Better than what it was when we moved in, I'll tell you that much.
That was painted all white. You keep bringing it
Yeah,
up.
it's painted all white.
Is this the carpet?
Yes, this is the carpet.
See, as you're going up the stairs, that picture is taken right there in the landing. There you see the seam in the carpet.
See right there? It's actually right there.
How did that seam go from that on this video to what you have in your photo? Go back to the photo.
To be honest, I have no idea.
First of all, as it relates to the fence, the only thing you put in writing was that a fence was to be built, and they built a fence, so I'm not giving you any damages for having to replace that fence. Based on all the evidence I've seen today, I find in favor of the plaintiffs. I think that they left this home in better condition than when they moved in, and frankly, I think you should be a little grateful for that. My verdict is for the plaintiffs, $1,000. Pay them their security deposit back.
I think this is homeboy, bro. He done traded up on you.
Today on Judge Faith, did he try to seduce a senior? Or did this cub get caught by a cougar?
Hey, you ever seen the dog?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a low damn dirty dog right there.
She sure flirted with me. She was trying to take me out of town to Miami.
Wait, let's keep understanding. You think that he was flirting
I
with you?
don't care, bro. I thought we was about to play a game.
Okay, do not mess with Miss Walker.
And later,
I look at her and she's
I look up, this nigga on the spot with a whole nother nigga.
You know, my flip-flop got caught on the gas pedal. She got on socks and flip-flop and I'm like, okay, yeah, no wonder, okay.
Socks and flip-flops?
Yeah.
Is that a fashion statement?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own court.
Bro.
Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Liddell Walker says she paid landscaper Isaac Williams to return her lawn to its former glory. But instead, he took all the money and left her yard unfinished. The defendant says he completed the job and that she's being unreasonable.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding.
Your Honor, this is Walker versus Williams.
Thank you, Barbara. Ms. Walker, you're suing the defendant for $475 for an incomplete landscaping job. Mr. Williams, you claim you completed the job, so you owe the plaintiff nothing. Ms. Walker, we'll start with you. How do you know the defendant?
About this low down dirty dog. He was supposed to do my lawn. I gave him $475. I was not pleased. He did not trim the hedges. He did not manicure my lawn. He didn't edge it up. You know, I wanted a beautiful lawn.
How did you meet the defendant?
I met this low down dirty dog at Home Depot.
Why are you calling him a low down dirty dog, ma'am?
Jerry, you ever seen the dog?
Yes, ma'am.
He's a low down dirty dog right there.
What happened when you met him at Home Depot?
Well, you know, I'm gonna buy me a new lawnmower and I get my grandson to cut my lawn. So I'm there at Home Depot looking at the lawnmower. I don't know too much about him. I'm just looking. This low down dirty dog, Rocky. He saw a pretty woman. I asked him, do you know anything about lawns? Here, come on over here. Like, that one is good, but now he got his pitch that I do lawns. I thought, well, maybe I get him to do my lawn, manicure my lawn for the first time, then my grandson could just cut.
Okay, so is that what happened?
Yeah, I said, okay. I walked out of Home Depot. I told him where I live. I come on, get in my car. Oh my God. Here's this lady with this big old Mercedes truck.
Good, bro.
She must have some money. When I got to my house, you know something hit me in the stomach.
Man, when you get like that, hit double square.
Wait, when you got to your house, he was there?
Yes,
double tap square, bro.
What were you doing in her house?
He was there.
She gave me her address.
We do a spin move.
Tomorrow, the same way to get there.
You know, I come right home.
Wait, so you guys agreed to meet at your house that day?
I told you. I told you.
Okay.
You told me you live the second house and to come over and take a look at your yard.
I know where that house is.
Yeah, you told me where you live, man.
But I was looking for you to be there before I get
Okay,
there.
so let's get an understanding. Let's keep an understanding. You think that he was flirting with you and he thought that...
Man, this ain't Christian.
Well, she sure flirted with me. She was trying to take me out of town to my...
Wait a minute. What do you mean by that?
Coming up, did he make a play for her pocketbook?
He had the contract already written out.
Or did she make a play for the player?
She told me she would rent whatever kind of car I wanted, or we could drive her Benz, we could get separate hotel rooms.
So y'all were talking about more than just landscaping.
And later, Judge Faith must decide who is telling the truth and who's telling a tall tale.
The time of the accident, who was in your car?
My dog, my son, and my husband.
I'll take it.
That's nowhere near true. It's called perjury.
This is what you said in your statement. The reason why you say you felt uncomfortable staying there, waiting any longer, is because you were there with your child.
Can I tell you?
That to me infers that your husband was not with you.
Bro.
Plaintiff Liddell Walker says she paid landscaper Isaac Williams to return her lawn to its former glory, but instead he took all the money and left her yard unfinished. The defendant says he completed the job and that Ms. Dell was being unreasonable.
We're going to get to the lawn in a second. What do you mean by that?
No.
She tried to get
Wow.
Hold on a second.
She told me she had paid for a trip to go to Miami 2 years ago, and she ain't wanted to expire, and she needed a vacation, and she was gonna give me money to, she was gonna rent a car, or we could drive her Benz, and then she would give me money for my pocket. We could get separate hotel rooms.
So y'all were talking about more than just landscaping that day.
She was.
Miss Walker, did you have a trip to Florida? Miss Walker.
Hold up.
Did you have a trip to Florida that you had planned?
I've been having this trip for 5 years. I said, you know,
And
I haven't.
to take you down there.
You said you wanted to go.
When you asked me, she was like,
Yeah, that's the nigga I know right there. You can't get with Chris T's and then start shooting whites.
And he said,
I'm just playing, bro. I was trash too. That spotlight came on and changed the nigga. You hear me?
Please don't disrespect her like that.
You hear me, dog? That spotlight came and changed the nigga whole identity.
Miss Walker, let me ask you a question about the landscaping, okay?
That's what we've been here for. I don't know where this come out.
You filed this lawsuit.
I thought you was gonna catch him.
You end up hiring the defendant.
Hold up.
Oh, all right. Already written out.
Okay, let me take a look at that. You have it with you?
Yes, I do. He had it all written out, and I'm saying all of this is weird.
But you did sign this agreement. You did sign this agreement.
Cash out.
To do my lawn, all from the loan.
You paid him $475 to basically clean your lawn and do your yard.
They can have that too.
One-time payment, correct?
He got down there the stuff that he's supposed to do, trim my pages, manicure my lawn. You know,
now, he did most of this work, but he didn't finish it. That's what you're claiming.
He didn't manicure my lawn. He just cleaned the lawn up. I have hedges. You might see the hedges. I have hedges on one side of my front yard.
Okay, why don't you look at
They're not cut.
Okay, Barbara, would you hand me that photo, please?
They're not cut. He's supposed to trim my hedges.
Okay.
Come on, bro.
You know, leaves get in between your hedges.
So this is how the hedges were after he finished landscaping your yard? Are those the hedges?
He's supposed to trim them, make them look good.
Well, those are. So why didn't you trim those hedges?
He ain't about it. He ain't about it.
Right at the corner.
Okay, Mr. Williams.
Yes.
What
I read your answer in this case. You submitted an answer, and in your answer you said you called her to come back and trim the hedges. Now today in court you're telling me they weren't on her property. Nevertheless, she paid you to trim those hedges. Why didn't you do it?
Because those aren't the hedges.
All right, bro. We can't lose, man.
Okay, that's not what you said in your answer.
The hedges that's supposed to be trimmed were the ones up front.
Did you trim those hedges?
No, because I didn't have trim.
Okay, why didn't you trim
Y'all
those
can't be
hedges?
by each other, though.
The same day that I did it, I let Miss Walker knew that Home Depot had my hedge trimmers, and that as soon as they got out, that I would trim her hedges.
Okay, so eventually you got your trimmers. Did you go back to
2 weeks ago?
He trimmed out.
Okay.
2 weeks ago.
Have you been
He
back
ain't
to
about
trim
it.
the hedges?
Oh, I wasn't going back over there after what she put me through, and she was suing me.
What he did, I called
Really
him.
should.
I did. I really overcalled him. He probably didn't like it. I wouldn't have liked it.
Ms. Walker, I looked at the contract that you have, and you actually admit that you never went back to finish the hedges because you didn't have your clippers, but that was a part of the original agreement. And you paid him the full...
Oh.
Okay, thank you. You paid him the full $475.
Yeah, that was perfect. I thought I had got caught into some trouble.
Don't mess with Miss Walker, okay? Do not mess with Miss Walker. I know you have many years of wisdom, but just from my perspective on the bench, seeing these types of cases, it's best that you don't pay someone full price up front before the work is done. Even if you want to give them a partial payment to start, you wait until the work is completed and you're satisfied, and then pay the remaining balance. Because the defendant, let me finish, Ms. Walker, because the defendant actually admits that he did not come back and trim the hedges, he admits that he did not complete the job that you paid him for. So I am going to order him to pay you back some of the $475, and you can hire someone else to come in and do the hedges and fix the things. So Ms. Walker, I'm ordering him to pay you $100. You can have someone else continue to maintain your lawn, fix your hedges, whatever you want to do. But I'm ordering you to pay her $100 because you did not complete the job. Verdict for the plaintiff, $100.
Plaintiff Ardell Hayes says he was stopped at a red light when the defendant slammed into his car. He is suing for damages to his vehicle. But the defendant, Amber Robinson, claims the plaintiff refused to wait for a police report and now is overcharging her for the damage to his vehicle. Joining her in court is her husband, Michael Robinson.
Okay, Mr. Ardell Hayes, you are suing the defendant, Amber Robinson, for $2,200 for damages to your car as a result of a car accident?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you tell me what happened?
From the red light, I'm sitting there, bam! Get hit in the back.
Yeah.
Kind of threw me. I didn't know what was going on. I've never been in an accident, so I'm sitting there dazed, like, whoa, what the heck? Oh my God, I just got hit. So I put my car in park, I get out, and I look at her, and she's all like, oh, she gets out of her car. I'm sorry. I couldn't stop. You know, my flip-flop got caught on the gas pedal. So I immediately looked down. She got on socks and flip-flops. I'm going, okay, yeah, no wonder. Okay.
Socks and flip-flops?
Yeah. So,
is that a fashion statement in Michigan?
Next on Judge Faith.
I think the fact that you are now saying that your husband was in the car with you,
I saw you.
This entire incident is highly questionable.
Oh, sure, I throw it to you.
In your statement to this court.
Plaintiff Ardell Hayes says he was stopped at a red light when the defendant slammed into his car. He is suing for damages to his vehicle. But the defendant, Amber Robinson, claims the plaintiff is overcharging her for the damages.
Did you call the police?
We did. We called the police, and we're in Detroit, so we waited and waited. After a while, we just kind of went on having a conversation. She called her insurance company, I called mine. So while we were waiting, we spoke to the insurance companies, and after about an hour, a little longer, the police never showed up.
Right back.
Her insurance company said, well, as long as you guys exchange information, then you really don't have to wait for the cops. She was with her son and her dog.
So you didn't wait for the police, you left?
Excuse me?
I said, and my husband.
Your husband what?
I said, and my husband.
I'm sorry, can you speak up?
I said, and my husband.
Okay, your husband.
Stay there.
Your husband was in the car?
Yeah,
as
he
well?
wasn't driving. I was driving.
You were a passenger?
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. This guy showed up.
No, bro, nothing easy. Nothing easy.
What she's talking about right now.
At the time of the accident, who was in your car? When you admit that you hit the back of his car. At the time of the accident, who was in your car?
My dog, my son, and my husband was a passenger.
That's nowhere near true. All right. It's called perjury. You guys know what that is?
Let me hear from you, sir. Well, can you step up, please? Say your name.
Mike.
Okay, Mike. What you witnessed?
I was in the passenger, and
speak up, Mike.
You in them greens, bro. I see you. I'm jelly.
So we already know it was a yellow light, and we really thought he was just gonna go. It was a red light. I was sitting still behind other cars.
And then stop, sir. Let me hear what he's saying.
We seen him slam his brake, and then we.
So where were you? Let me ask you. Where were you coming from?
Oh, that's my fault.
No, I'm asking your husband. Where were you coming from that day?
A pawn shop.
Okay. You know, this is interesting because I want to read to you what you said in your answer in this case. You talk about the entire incident and how you were concerned
Oh
because you
my
had this accident
God.
in the Detroit area, and it was just you and your 8-year-old daughter with you, and how you were afraid because you didn't want to be in that area by yourself, and you made no mention of your husband being with you in the car in this accident at all. So what's going on? What's going on? I mean, that is a significant fact, because if your husband is in the car, that means that he is a witness to this entire incident. You wrote out an entire statement and make no mention of the fact that your husband is in the car with you. The first time I've heard of this is today in court.
Your Honor, honestly, no one ever asked if there was a witness in the car. I said I was concerned for my 8-year-old son.
So you're saying that my clerk who spoke to you about this case got it wrong?
No one ever asked, like, who was in the car. I said I was concerned about my 8-year-old son. I didn't know it mattered who was in the car.
Was your husband in the trunk? Because he was not in the passenger seat when I was driving.
Here's what you said in your statement. The reason why you say you felt uncomfortable staying there, waiting any longer, is because you were there with your child.
Can I tell you?
That to me infers that your husband was not with you, because you felt uncomfortable because you were there with your child in that area.
How, like, it happened. Like, I bumped into him and I called the cops. He didn't even want to call the cops. And what happened?
So you leave. Let's get to the rest of the case.
To leave. I wanted to stay for the police.
I think the fact that you are now saying that your husband was in the car with you and witnessed this entire incident is...
Hey, they was playing with me, bro. Chris Cheese was playing with me, bro. Like,
so I don't know if you...
Barbecue chicken, you saw that?
We're going to try to make your case better for you by bringing in a witness.
And I was broadcasting.
I didn't know him being witness was anything.
This nigga just joking with me. I'm like, this little bastard's playing.
So let's get to the damages, because the bottom line is, you admit to rear-ending his car. So the real question here is damages, because you are now disputing the damages and the amount that he says you owe him for the damages.
He was driving pretty recklessly, and he was, because he was in a rush for a baseball game, so he pulled in front of me, and I didn't know what he was doing. I thought he was going to run through the stoplight. I have no damages to my car. I did not bump his car. It's whatever.
But you rear-ended him.
And
you understand that when you rear-end someone else, there is a presumption under the law that you were in the wrong. Because you should, and you say,
I understand.
They know you about the green. I don't know why they sagging off you.
Wearing flip-flops, and your flip-flops got caught in the car. So why are you?
I know you about the green.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
Based on your statement, you come into this court today, and you haven't told anything that sounds close to the truth.
Ma'am, he didn't want to wait for the police. So what I had did is I gave him my insurance number, my phone number, and I advised him,
let's stop.
I actually have proof that I tried to help him.
What do you mean you tried to help him? You hit his car. That's what you're supposed to do. He's not a charity case. He just wants the damages paid for his car. I heard enough. I don't have to hear anything else, because I came in here today and I looked at the fact that you didn't wait for the police. You have to wait for the police when you have an accident because of cases like this. When someone says, well, that wasn't the damage that I caused, but you didn't wait for the police to document it. So I came in here today thinking that I was going to perhaps rule one way based on the evidence that you submitted to the court. But because you came in and brought your husband, you said your husband was in the car and he wasn't in the car, you know it, I know it, and the plaintiff knows it, but you came in here today, you thought you were going to bring a witness to try to help your case. My judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $2,200 paid for the damage to the car.
Let's go.
Today on Judge Faith. She says her identity was stolen by her mother.
She had lights and gas put in my name without me having no knowledge of.
It's like, you know, in everyday life, sometimes you borrow from Peter to pay Paul.
Why has she had to bring you to court today to try to get you to pay this bill?
And later, a split decision over the rules of the road causes these two drivers to come to court.
I don't recall there being very much traffic, and if I establish the right way, I can proceed legally.
I saw the front of her vehicle, and Miss Olsen was actually head was turned to the right.
Oh.
And at that moment, we collided.
All right.
How many times you say it? Each time you say it, you're still wrong.
You mean they doubling?
Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Fate. Plaintiff Tina Cunningham says her mother put a utility bill in her name and then stopped paying. She's suing for the cost of the unpaid bill. She is accompanied by her daughter, Diamond Walters. Defendant Regina Sales says she forgot the bill wasn't in her name and doesn't owe any money because she paid her daughter's home title. She is countersuing for the title company payment reimbursement.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Cunningham versus Sales.
Thank you, Barbara. Tina Cunningham?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Regina Sales?
Yes.
For $1,647 for an unpaid energy bill?
Yes.
And you're countersuing, ma'am, for $5,000 for some type of home title company reimbursement?
Yes.
And you can explain your counterclaim to me when we get to it, okay?
All right.
So I'll start with you, Miss Cunningham. How do you know the defendant?
Oh, she's my mother.
Okay. What's going on here?
Okay, she had lights and gas put in my name without me having no knowledge of.
What has the relationship
I ain't
with your mother
studying this
been like?
thing.
I love her. She's my mom. She's kind of shaky, but, you know, our relationship.
And who do you have with you today?
This is my daughter. I'm Diamond.
Okay. And you're a witness?
Yes.
So we have basically 3 generations of your family here in court today.
Yes.
So you find out at some point that your mother has some type of energy bill in your name.
Yes.
How do you find out about that?
Because they told me the address.
Okay, so they tell you the address where the bill has been going to.
Yes.
And it is her address?
Yes.
Do you deny any of this?
No, I don't deny this, and it was put in her name,
okay, well, why did you do
I don't
that?
think I owe her the money.
But let me ask you something. Why did you put a bill in her name that she didn't know anything about?
It's like, you know, in everyday life, sometimes you borrow from Peter to pay Paul, and sometimes DTE was Peter. So I didn't pay them, and I had a bill that got behind.
How do you get a bill in somebody else's name? What do you have to do that?
Just give them the name and the information, their information.
So you basically have to pretend that you are her.
Yes.
Okay, and you understand that that's fraud, right?
Well, not technically, but...
In order for you to get this bill in her name...
Yes, without me knowing.
You have her personal information because she's your daughter.
Yeah.
Right? And so you use that information to get a bill in her name without her knowing. And the worst part is you don't pay it.
Oh, yeah. No, I paid it for a long time. It's just that I moved, and there was a back balance, and then they came to her. I tried to tell them that it was my bill, not to put it on her.
So how many years ago did you change this bill and put it into her name?
About 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
8
okay.
to 10.
At some point.
But I paid it. I always paid it.
Well, ma'am, in all fairness, you did pay it because there's over $1,600 balance due on the bill now. So you can understand why she would be upset. Do you work, ma'am?
No.
You work? When's the last time you worked?
A couple of years back, 10 years back.
How do you support yourself?
I do like odd jobs. Like I do hair.
Do you pay your bills?
Yes.
You pay them on time?
Yes. I would never do that to my daughters. She has always told me, don't never do that. Don't never put no bills in your daughter's names because you don't want that to come back.
Hold on.
And then she does it to me.
Diamond, how has all of this affected you?
You know, I want to see 2 people I love, you know, going through something like this where it could be solved. It could have been solved if she would have just said something earlier, and maybe they would have
resolved it.
What's the issue that you've been dealing with? I'm not talking about the bill right now. I'm talking about what you wrote to me in your answer.
Gambling?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I don't have a gambling problem. I like to go to the casinos and just...
That's a problem.
Well, I was working, so I consider that my money, I can do what I want with it.
And you were spending, every 2 weeks, you were spending $500 on the slots?
Just about.
And you don't think that's a problem, ma'am?
No. It's the only recreation I have. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. I go to the casino. That's my recreation.
The problem is when you're gambling that much of your paycheck.
Shout out to the chat. What's cracking?
That means you're gambling. You're gambling. No, ma'am, you didn't.
My bill. I paid all my bills.
Why has she had to bring you to court today to try to get you to pay this bill?
Coming up, Judge Faith helps smooth the way for this mother and daughter to restore their broken relationship.
There was no intention to hurt you, Tina.
My bad.
You know, in all
I'm gonna stop playing.
The bill, I intended to pay the bill, and then never had this come back on you.
Families go through all kinds of ordeals, but the difference with this is you did it behind her back without her knowing.
And later, she says there wasn't a vehicle in sight, but Judge Faith knows better.
I wanted to go straight across to here and then make a U-turn and come back.
Traffic. On Sunset Boulevard, this is one of the probably most popular streets in the city. Sunset Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, traffic is light. That's what you're telling me?
Plaintiff Tina Cunningham says her mother put a utility bill in her name and then stopped paying. She's suing for the cost of the unpaid bill. Defendant Regina Sales says she forgot the bill wasn't in her name and doesn't owe any money because she paid her daughter's home title. She is countersuing for the title company payment reimbursement.
You know you owe this money. You know she didn't make this bill. You did. Why haven't you paid her?
But she didn't help pay any of the money that she owed me when she owed me the $14,000.
How does she owe you $14,000?
She sold a house. They tried to say she fraudulently sold it. It wasn't fraud, but it was a long drawn out case.
You had a house that was in her name?
Yes.
So technically you own the house?
It was in my name and trust for her.
Yes.
Okay, the house was sold.
Yes.
And the two of you split the profits from the sale?
No, she got the money from
You got the money from the sale?
Yes.
How much was it?
$18,000.
No, it was like 30-something thousand.
Okay, somehow there was a lawsuit, and we don't have to get into the details of all that, but there was a lawsuit and you were ordered to pay back $14,000, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and how much did they take out of your wages?
I had to pay $200 every month.
That's
Okay,
all.
was there an agreement between the two of you that you would pay this money back?
No.
But I paid up until I retired the $200 every month.
What happened to the money that you got from the sale of the house?
I mean, when I sold the house, I was moving. So I had to buy furniture, you know, I had to start all over again.
So you
I had to
basically
move.
spent the money?
Yes, but
Was that the source of conflict between the two of you? Was that the start of the conflict between the two of you when she started paying back the $14,000?
Yes, because I say that's why I'm here getting countersued. Because evidently she is remorseful about that when she get when
That was a lot of money.
Families go through all kinds of ordeals. Mothers have to bail out their daughters.
Oh, I wish I could
bail
rip
out their
that.
mothers, and things happen. But the difference with this is you did it behind her back without her knowing.
There was no intention to hurt you, Tina.
But you did.
You know, in all those years I paid the bill, I intended to pay the bill and then never had to come back on it. It's
How it's not going to come back on me when that big bill, they're going to slap it right on her.
And I tried to get it off of you, and then they didn't want to listen. They just said it was in your name because I had it in your name.
Yeah, it's on my name, so they're going to come after me.
Right. Then they put it on you.
Well, I think that when there is perhaps an addiction in play here, that becomes a priority over everything else.
It's not an
because you
addiction.
could have the signs are there because when you have a bill that's wrapped up to $1,647 and you're spending $1,000 a month in the casino, clearly you are paying gambling over paying the bills.
That was when I was working. I'm not working now. I cut it back.
On your counterclaim for $5,000, I'm not going to order her to pay you $5,000. on the $14,000 that you paid on the home because there was no contract in place. You owe her $1,646.78 for the utilities bill. More importantly, you owe your daughter an apology, and you owe her to step into the role as her mother. And as far as that young lady is concerned, your granddaughter, you want her to be able to look to you to learn how to live in this world and how to make it and how to work hard and how to pay her bills and how to do right. You want her to be able to look to you for that. And I hope that you can get the help that you need so she can look to you for that. Verdict in this case is for the... Thank you.
Plaintiff Gabriel Saavedra says the defendant made an illegal left turn and collided into his car. He's suing for car damages and related fees. Defendant Victoria Olsen says she was already in the middle of the road when the plaintiff collided into her car. She's countersuing for damages to her car and related fees.
Gabriel Saavedra?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant Victoria Olsen for $5,780
That's correct.
as a result of a car accident. You say it's her fault.
Correct.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $4,030. You say the accident was his fault and he owes you for damages to your car.
I got it.
Okay, we'll start with you, Mr. Saavedra. What happened here?
I submitted actually an aerial map of the intersection that everything happened at.
Okay, let's pull it up. So you want to approach the map and point to it and tell me what happened? Okay, go ahead.
So
point to where you were and which direction you were traveling.
I was coming this direction, entering into this left turn lane.
Okay, so you're here. I'm just going to use my finger. Is this correct?
Correct. This is right.
And you're going to this left turn lane, all right?
Correct.
And what happens?
At that moment, I proceeded to start my turn when all the traffic, basically was backed up here, and I saw Miss Olsen's vehicle coming out, turning left, and basically within a second from this direction.
Okay, so she's crossing 1, 2, 3 lanes of traffic into that lane to turn?
Yes, this is correct.
So did you see her before she hit your car?
No, I basically saw her for 2 seconds where I saw the front of her vehicle, and Miss Olsen was actually, head was turned to the right, and then she turned forward, and at that moment we collided. She hit the front right corner of my vehicle and ended up coming up over my front of my hood.
Okay, you can take your place. Thank you. Okay, Miss Olsen, what do you say happened?
I decided to go straight.
You want to walk over?
I decided to stop right here and just sneak out. The two lanes that on my left-hand side had both stopped. I was going to go straight across all 4 lanes to get to Selma to make a U-turn and go back down Sunset Boulevard.
Point to me where you say you were going to go. I don't understand.
I wanted to go straight across to here and then make a U-turn and come back.
Traffic.
There were 4 lanes, and I had established both lanes.
And there are other lanes on the other side, ma'am.
But there were no cars coming. On the right-hand side, there were no cars at all. And on the left-hand side,
there obviously was a car because you hit a car.
Okay, these 2 lanes had stopped. And I had established the right-of-way after the 2 lanes were stopped.
On Sunset Boulevard, this is one of the probably most popular streets in the city. Sunset Boulevard.
Correct.
What time was this?
And my boyfriend's business is also on that.
6 o'clock in the evening. You can take your place, ma'am. 6 o'clock in the evening, Sunset Boulevard, Los Angeles, California. Traffic is light. That's what you're telling me.
It was actually 7.
And you're crossing 6, 7, 8 lanes of traffic to go to the other side, and you think that's okay?
And if I establish the right-of-way, I can proceed legally.
I am telling you that he is in an unobstructed intersection. He doesn't have to stop for anyone. There are cars driving down Sunset Boulevard. They do not have to yield to you if you want to come out in traffic. Your job is to sit there, and if there's nothing else coming, you can make a right turn. You cannot cross 8 lanes of traffic to get to the other side. It doesn't matter how many times you say it. Each time you say it, you're still wrong.
Coming up on Judge Faith, Victoria sticks to her story until Gabriel shakes it up in court.
I didn't hit him. I established the right of way. I proceeded with caution, and I made it across to Selma exactly like I did. There's not one law stating that I cannot cross the boulevard.
After everything, she did not have insurance at all. And here's why we're here in the first place.
Okay,
So.
that's not true either. That's not true either.
When you tell me my insurance had lapsed, that's all I need to know. I don't need to know why, I don't need to know when, I don't need to know how. The fact that it lapsed is all I need to know.
Plaintiff Gabrielle Saavedra says Victoria collided into his car because she ignored the traffic signs and made an illegal left turn. He's suing for car damages and related fees. Defendant Victoria Olsen says her car was hit because Gabriel was on his cell phone and didn't see her crossing Sunset Boulevard. She is countersuing for damages to her car and related fees.
The police, and I guess you just ignore the police as well, because in their report they said you failed to yield to a right-of-way prior to entering the roadway from private property.
Already out.
That's what they said about you, ma'am.
I was
In
already...
addition, after, if I may, Your Honor, after everything, she did not have insurance at all. And here's why we're here in the first place.
That's not true either. That's not true either.
It's been very hard to communicate
Did you have
English to
insurance?
this woman.
Yes, ma'am, I did. And it actually had
Well, show me
expired.
proof of your insurance. I'd love to see it.
It's right here.
So you had insurance at the time of this accident?
It actually had canceled that morning at 8 o'clock.
Okay, so you did have insurance.
Yeah, it works
So you
too.
did not have insurance. I want you to stop answering the question you want to answer and answer the question I'm asking you. I asked you, did you have insurance at the time of this accident? The answer is no.
I believe that
I don't care if it lapsed at 8 o'clock in the morning. You don't get credit for having insurance earlier that day. You don't get credit for having insurance the day before. You understand? If you didn't have insurance, you're driving with an uninsured vehicle. Okay, so according to the police report, you had a 2005 Neon, is that correct?
Correct.
And what happened to it? Was it totaled or?
Yeah, it was totaled out. The damages from the mechanic, he told me that it was going to equal, if not...
Okay, and this is the front right-hand corner that was hit by her
And you
car.
can
What kind of
see-
car were you driving, ma'am?
I had a Toyota 4Runner and I was hit from the left-hand side.
Okay.
You could see from there that she collided with the outer passenger side. That's where it initially took place, and the reason why it's crunched is because she went up over my hood.
Okay, and that's the defendant's car? Okay, I see slight damage to the...
Well, there's other pictures that show I was hit further back.
Right, I don't understand why you're suing for damages when you don't have insurance. Do you really think you're going to come into court
Honestly,
and
my
get an award
insurance
for damages when you're driving around with no insurance?
It was lapsed
You're
for
right,
8
it was
hours
lapsed.
only. And my car was not on the road for several months. I had gone to DMV and received a paper to be able to
And I'm
move my
telling you,
car.
what matters
legally.
in court
Okay.
is the first part of your statement. The second part of your statement has no relevance. When you tell me my insurance had lapsed, that's all I need to know. I don't need to know why, I don't need to know when, I don't need to know how. The fact that it lapsed is all I need to know.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
I just want to be clear, what is your defense as to why you don't know the plaintiff?
Because I didn't hit him. I established the right of way. I proceeded with caution, and I made it across
Miss
to Selma
Faith.
I mean,
exactly like I did. There's not
you
one
have the
law
picture of the
stating
stop sign
that I
as well.
cannot cross the boulevard. I had to make a stop.
Man, bro, that made me so
You
mad.
want me to believe that there were only 6 cars on Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, bro.
7 o'clock,
Yes,
6 o'clock,
right.
we'll go with your time.
I was
7
heated
o'clock
when I saw
in the
that.
evening,
Correct.
and that you could clearly cross 7 lanes of traffic to get to the other side.
After the
Correct?
first 2 lanes to my left had stopped and both given me the right of way, there was no other cars to be seen.
And I'm telling you, you're delusional if you think I believe that. You're absolutely delusional. If it makes you feel better when you write the check to the plaintiff for the money that you owe him, if you want to put in the memo line, not my fault, you go right ahead and do it.
I don't believe it
But you're
was
going to
my
write the
fault.
check. I'm awarding you the Blue Book value of the car, dismissing your counterclaim, awarding you $3,054 judgment for the plaintiff.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith will run it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.
They're supposed to go to Stanford. No, when Danny Joe was younger.
Today on Judge Faith, she says her friend asked to drive her car and then destroyed it.
My car now is like an accordion on top of a van, and we didn't even leave the parking spot.
But her friend says the story that's being told isn't the truth.
She revealed to me that she does not have a driving license, that it has been suspended for her second DUI.
Now, Judge Faith will decide who's real and who's fake in this friendship fiasco.
So what's so special about her that would make you break the law? Because she doesn't seem to like you very much. She's telling all your business.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Camila Romero says her former friend crashed her vehicle into two parked cars. She's suing for repair costs, towing, and impound fees. Defendant Svetlana Duro claims she never drove her ex-friend's car and doesn't know how the vehicle got damaged.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, we have Romero versus Duro.
Thank you, Barbara. Camila Romero, you were suing the defendant Svetlana Durrell?
Yes.
For $5,092 for car damages, towing, and impound fees?
Yes.
You are alleging that the defendant had a car accident in your car and she's responsible for the damages?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you start with telling me what happened? How do you know her?
We went to art school together.
So you went to school together and you became friends?
Well, we lost touch for a while, and then she contacted me on Facebook.
Why did you
Raimundo.
I did not contact her on Facebook.
Okay.
I have the Facebook conversation. I don't know what she has, but it's false. I never contacted her on Facebook.
Why don't you describe to me your relationship with the plaintiff?
I went to art school together with Miss Romero about 4 years ago. She was expelled from the art school for...
Oh, well, get you some space.
So she never got to graduate, and then she moved on to a different school. We got in touch.
Why are you dropping all this shade on the plane? I mean, her being expelled from school and everything. I'm just asking a simple question: how y'all met in the friendship you had with her?
Well, we don't really have a friendship. We got in touch by text message. I sent her a text message, and I asked her if she wanted to get together. I didn't have a phone then. So we got together, and she.
And is that the night of
the incident?
Yes.
That was tight.
Before the night of this incident, how long had it been since the two of you had seen each other?
Probably about 3 years.
The two of you get together. Tell me how that happened.
I rode my bicycle over from my work to a bar where we met, and she drove her car to the bar where we met. Once we met...
Were you both drinking at the bar?
Yes, we were. However, I was not driving. So once we were at the bar, a few drinks later, she revealed to me that she does not have a driving license, that it has been suspended for her second DUI. She actually drove to the bar illegally.
Okay, so hold on a second. Was your license suspended because of a DUI?
Yes, but not a second one.
So when was the DUI?
The DUI was in 2011.
Okay, your license would not be suspended for a DUI that happened 3 years ago.
Well,
that would have been tight.
Well, I had my license, and then I did my program, and so when I finished my whole program, I turned in all the information into the DMV, and they were like, you didn't pay $40 for this fee, so it seems like I never did anything.
You're saying that you should have had your license, but you didn't because of a fee you didn't pay.
Right.
Oh, hey, this is my homeboy.
Like settle the DUI.
Let me get up. Let me get up.
You break the law and drive without a driver's license. You haven't seen her in 3 years.
Well, I mean, I thought that she was like...
Because she doesn't seem to like you very much. She's telling all your business.
Yeah.
You know, that's her. I'm not going to be that kind of person.
So you go and you meet her at the bar. What are you drinking?
think we're drinking whiskey.
How many drinks do you have?
A couple.
Can I say something? She kept revealing more information about what since I haven't seen her. She told me there was also a warrant for her arrest that evening when we met. So not only she was driving without license.
Hey, we can't let them beat us though.
She also had a warrant for her arrest, and she also was taking some sort of prescription medication.
And did you have a warrant out for your arrest that night?
Oh, y'all can't be by each other.
That morning I found out that I had a warrant for like what I thought was, you know, part of the whole like license DUI thing. I didn't know.
Okay, so you did have a warrant. And you told her about it that night?
Sure.
All right, and what's the warrant for?
The warrant was for, well, it turned out to be like this thing that happened at a party. And
what thing? Like warrants aren't issued for things, they're issued for specific reasons.
Okay, well, my friend took this bag and she like made me get rid of it.
Okay, so are you talking about possession of stolen property?
Yeah, but I didn't steal it, so like, you know, like nothing happened.
So you were...
Yeah, that's part of the reason he be making me mad.
No, I just got the letter. So like, I didn't even know that.
You got a letter to show up to court one day.
You can't get an open free to save.
No, the day that I saw her was the first time that I saw that letter.
The day you saw
trash.
Okay, but she has nothing to do with that, right?
No, nothing.
So there was a letter, you were informed there was a warrant out for your arrest, and you knew that at the time you met up with her.
Coming up on Judge Faith, Camilla reveals new evidence that puts Svetlana in the driver's seat.
Anyone can create a Facebook account. I don't know how this can be considered a true evidence.
And I would not spend that much time to write.
Well, what if she just created an account?
How about that?
You seem so nervous right now. I'm about to look at Facebook messages. Why?
Plaintiff Camila Romero says her ex-friend destroyed her car while trying to pull out of the parking space. She's suing for repair costs, towing, and impound fees. Defendant Svetlana Durrell claims she wasn't even with Camilla when the car was damaged and has no idea how her ex-friend wrecked the vehicle.
How long were you at the bar?
Had to be maybe a couple hours.
Okay, and what happens after you leave the bar?
And then we go to her house.
How did you get there?
I locked my bicycle and I rode it there. I gave her the address and told her to meet her.
Did she ride her bicycle?
No.
Yes, I did.
She put it in my car.
Yes, I did.
Okay, you drove? Okay, so you already have a DUI, and you're at a bar drinking, so you're still drinking and driving.
I mean, that day, like,
we can't lose now. We can't lose.
You know, it was a mistake, and I should never even have gone. But
so you go to her house, so what happens next?
The next morning, we go to my car to, I guess, like, go to her workplace. She offers to drive.
That is not true, Your Honor.
How did the accident happen?
The way the accident has happened, I don't know, because I was not there for the accident.
Let's get it.
What happened was Ms. Romero decided to go back to her home at some point because my husband and I wanted to go to sleep. I had to work all day. I also had work the next morning. I told her that...
Y'all be right next to each other, man.
Let her finish.
So basically my husband and I were, you know, letting her know that she has to leave, and she was okay with that. She was fine driving back home. I locked up the gate.
That night?
That night,
okay.
Yes. She has
I never even got to drive back home because my car got totaled. Like, how is that?
Hold on, man. Go ahead.
What happened was she left, and I've never seen her since then. So I suppose either she found somebody on the street and met and had them drive the car. Whether
so you never drove her car?
I never drove her car.
Don't know anything about an accident?
I don't have no idea.
Tell me what happened. Your version.
She offers to drive my car, and of course I say yes because I don't have a license. And like, if you're offering to drive my car, why would
So are you saying you spent the night at her house?
Yes.
Tell me about the accident. How did it happen?
Okay, so
she's in the car. Are you in the car too?
Yes.
What happened?
I'm in the passenger seat. She
turns on.
She turns on the car.
I don't know why my homeboys always like pulling up on me, man.
The front car, straight into the back car, straight into the front. It was like,
you know what I mean? I done lost a lot of friends because they'll just pull up on me. I'm like, you know what? I'm finna beat you and then delete you.
I'm in the passenger seat, like, Oh my
Because
God.
I just sent you a message asking you want to run, then 5 minutes later, you with 3 people.
What?
At my spot.
My car now is like an accordion on top of a van.
Like, man, you know what? Right.
And there was enough room.
And them your running buddies from now
I
on.
could have asked someone
Keep 'em.
who was like just a torso and blind to take my car out of this.
Yeah, that's who you chose, huh?
Okay, so what am I looking at?
That's my car.
Look at him over there by himself now.
Car, and it's completely off of the car.
Oh yeah.
Look at
And what do you have? You said you have some Facebook.
I did not have a Facebook because you deleted it right after.
I did not ever have a Facebook.
For real, bro.
I don't know how this can be considered a true evidence because anyone can create a Facebook account, type in anything.
You seem so nervous right now. I'm about to look at Facebook messages. Why?
No, I'm just saying that this is not a legitimate evidence.
How do you know that?
Well, because police records would be legitimate evidence, and Facebook, anyone can
No, I
create
think
anything.
Facebook messages are quite telling.
If someone has a laptop, I could sign on real fast and you can see it in the message. And I would not spend that much time to write.
You don't have a job, Camilla, so.
So I got a lot of time and I still wouldn't spend it.
It's like several pages of messages between the two of you.
It says Lenny. That's my dog. But I just use his Facebook.
The accident was on June 14th, 2014, and I have Facebook messages from June 15th between what appears to be the two of you.
False, Your Honor.
So you've never had a Facebook page? Never?
Not in the past few years or so.
It's more like not the past 3 months.
Even if you delete your account and delete your Facebook page, the inbox messages, they still stay there in the recipient's inbox. So she can keep messages even though you perhaps deleted your account, because I see here where probably a photo used to be, I'm assuming, it's now just one of those icons.
Yeah. Well, what if she just created an account and then deleted it? How about that?
How about that?
Okay, so you write, the big car only has a bend bumper. There was no other car there. It's an older car, the big one. You write in response to that, you hit 2. There was a red one in the back. I wonder how bad that one is. How bad is the bumper? You respond, just bent. Not even that bad. There is that footstep on it and that bend. She replies like that. You reply, not as bad. I mean, because you testified so far as you know nothing about this accident. You were not there. You went to bed. You were sleeping, and you know absolutely nothing about it. And these Facebook messages indicate just the opposite.
Next on Judge Faith. The ladies tell Judge Faith what happened when they hit the road and went rogue.
You don't have a license?
No, I've never obtained a driving license.
So I'm like, we gotta get out of here before, before the cops come, and
So now you're like Thelma and Louise. You guys just gotta roll.
Plaintiff Camila Romero says Svetlana is responsible for crashing her car. She's suing for repair costs, towing, and impound fees. Defendant Svetlana Durrell claims she never drove her ex-friend's car and doesn't know how the vehicle got damaged.
I think these are actual messages between the two of you. I mean, this isn't something that's really organized. If she wanted to make up evidence and make up messages, she would have you write, I am so sorry I wrecked your car on June 14th at 6:49 p.m. in the evening. She would make up really, really good evidence. This is not really, really good evidence. This is just sort of piecemeal and you guys are talking about it.
I don't know who
I
she's
believe
talking
it.
to.
I absolutely believe it. 6, 7, 8, 9 pages of messages. No one's going to take up that amount of time to write 9 pages of inbox messages. I think these are your messages. So I think you're lying.
Your Honor,
Where's your husband, by the way?
At work.
Okay, because he can vouch for the fact that you were at home all night and wasn't involved in an accident, but he's not here, right?
No.
The one person who can actually vouch and corroborate what you're saying isn't in court with you today?
No, he's not.
Okay, thank you. What about the damages to the other cars? What happened with them?
So like we gotta get out of here before like before the cops come and like.
So now you're like Thelma and Louise. You guys just gotta run.
I mean, but so I mean it shows you that like we were friends. We were like.
So no, I'm just curious because here you are in court today. So these two other cars are damaged,
right?
And you just roll out of there. You're gone.
Okay, so
no one pays for the damages to their car.
No, I have.
Well, is it true that you left because you didn't want the police to come?
Yes,
you had
yes,
a warrant
yes.
out for your arrest?
Yes,
okay.
it's true. Okay, so
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Okay.
Tell me what happened.
So like my dog is at my apartment downtown. So I have to get to him because he's probably like he holds his pee in for like days. So like I know that like I can't like put him through that. I take the bus all the way back to like take him out, and I also got him as an emotional support animal so he can come with me everywhere. So I call my dad, and he tells me, you know, you need to find someone to go back with you because I need to go back and find these people that she might have hit. Because I don't want to hit her. I don't want to like scream her over like that.
So did you go back to the scene?
I did with Lenny, and like I left a note in mailboxes everywhere. The cars weren't there anymore. So I went to get my car out of the police station, and that's when I talked to the detective. Like I need to find out these people, like if was hit. And it turns out that the only person that called the cop was the car in front. And so I got all this information, I called him out, and he said, don't worry about it, like there's no damages. Which is crazy because he saw my, I was like, whoa. Like, hallelujah. Because like,
now tell me why your insurance isn't covering damage to your car as a result of this accident.
Because she doesn't have a license.
You don't have a license?
No, I've never obtained a driving license.
So you don't know how to drive. That's how this accident happened?
I do know how to drive, Your Honor.
No, you do not. Look at my
tongue. She doesn't know how to drive drunk. That's the problem.
No one knows how to drive drunk.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
There are two issues here. There's the issue of liability, who's responsible for the accident, and there's the issue of damages once I establish who's responsible for the accident. In terms of liability, this isn't a great case and situation for you. There's a doctrine under the law called the doctrine of clean hands. And what that means is when you bring a lawsuit and you come into court, you yourself must be innocent of wrongdoing. And you're not exactly innocent of wrongdoing because the night before this accident occurred, you admit to me that you were drinking, that you were driving, and that you had a suspended driver's license, okay? All very bad things to take place.
I'm sorry.
In addition to that, when the accident happens, you leave because there's a warrant out for your arrest. This is not a great situation for you.
I understand.
However, Ms. Durrell, when it comes to the issue of liability, I actually do believe that you were driving, and I do believe that you wrecked the car. You're actually a pretty good liar, because if you didn't have the Facebook messages, I probably would have believed you, but she kept the Facebook messages, and I believe that those are the actual inbox messages between the two of you. You can shake your head all you want, but I think you came into court today and you lied. So because both of you seem to be a little confused about some things. She's a liar, so both of you are responsible and going to pay damages, and you're going to split the cost for damages. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $2,223. Verdict for the plaintiff.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court. Today on Judge Faith, a relationship runs out of gas.
I said, I'll take over the payment, but I can only pay $300 a month.
When a car comes between two friends.
Her entire defense is you weren't making the payments that you were supposed to make, and you didn't bring the most important evidence in court. You didn't bring the most important evidence in court with you today.
But who's to blame?
Why didn't you get placed for the car yourself?
Because the car was in her name through the finance company.
That's why you have to think about this before you go through with it.
And later, two lovers hit the brakes.
How did the relationship end?
Just went bad.
It ended the day that he took the third truck we bought.
Are you saying you wanted out of the relationship, the truck, or both?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Tamara Collier is suing her ex-friend and co-worker for payments owed on a car and money for a slashed tire. She's accompanied in court today by her mother, Wendy Winston. Defendant Venetia Medley says the plaintiff wasn't applying her payments to the car. She's countersuing for the payments she's already made and other expenses. She's accompanied in court by her daughter, Kiara Medley.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Collier versus Medley.
Thank you, Mark. Tamara Collier?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Venetia Medley?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $1,235 payments owed on a car and money for a slashed tire?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are countersuing now for $2,355 for car payments made to the plaintiff and the cost of brakes and a rotor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Tell me how you know the defendant and how this transaction came about.
We've been working together for the last 10 years.
Okay, and how would you describe your relationship?
I thought that we were friends because we hung out a lot. We talked on the phone almost every day.
So tell me how the conversation came up with Miss Medley about this car that you own.
I had purchased another car back in February, and I brought it to her attention that either I was going to sell the car or give the car back to the finance company.
Your old car?
Yes.
Okay.
And when I brought it to her attention about that, she said, well, don't send the car back. I would try to get it for my daughter so it won't go on your credit report. She asked me how much was the car payment. I told her how much the payments were. She asked me what day they were due. I told her all of that. I said, I'll take over the payments, but I can only pay $300 a month. So she said, well, okay, go home and talk to your daughter. When we did the notarized letter, she came with the letter, it said $315. I said, okay, fine. But the car payment was never $300. When we talked to the loan officer, they said it was $4 something a month.
Okay, but you agreed to take over payments and pay $315.
Right, so she brought the car to my house. She took the plates off the car.
Y'all ready?
She said at the time her tip tape on her new car was going out. So I said, okay, fine. Just drive with the plates. You know, do what you got to do because I understand you got to get back and forth to work. I kept the car for
So wait, you took the plates off of this 2006 Pontiac Grand Prix and put it on another car?
On my other car.
Okay, you can't do that. You can't switch plates like that. You have to get plates for that car. If the police stop you and they run the plates, the tags on your car, they're going to see that the plates belong to the car that she has.
But she had it parked in her.
There's no but. You can't do that. Okay, go ahead.
So the car sat in my driveway for 6 months without us being able to even use the car.
Why?
Because she had the plates.
No. Why didn't you get plates for the car yourself?
Because the car was in her name through the finance company.
That's why you have to think about this before you go through with this.
We made the agreement.
Hey, where y'all go?
That her daughter needed to get her eyeglasses. She needed to pass her permit test.
Do you want to step up, ma'am? Her daughter may have things she has to do in order to be able to legally drive the car and be a licensed driver, but the separate issue is being able to legally operate the car on the road because it needs to have the proper plates on it. What do you know about this, Kiara?
I was just paying a car note and Mama just said when I get my license I can drive, but I couldn't drive the car because I couldn't, we ain't had a place or nothing. And then, like, nobody could teach me how to drive in the car.
Okay, well, that's another issue. Somebody has to teach you how to drive. Who has the car now?
The finance company got the car.
How did they get it back?
They told it.
From where?
From my house.
She said the finance company is looking for the car for repossession for $1,600. $1,600? No. So when we called the finance company, she called them on the three-way, gave them verification to talk to me. They said at that point, in March when I got the car, it was almost $100 behind.
That is not true. They said $70.
Okay, it was behind. I want to ask you about this. Do you have proof that you were making the payments the months that she had the car? Did you bring proof with you?
I didn't bring this. It's up in the green room. I got it, but I don't have it down here with me.
Do you understand that that's probably the most important evidence that you could have in court with you today? And you didn't bring that? Her entire defense is you weren't making the payments that you were supposed to make, and therefore the car was in default. They wanted to come and get the car. And you didn't bring the most important evidence in court?
She didn't pay in
You didn't
full.
bring the most important evidence in court with you today?
Coming up, tensions mount.
The car was on a flat.
Did you slash the tires?
I didn't slash the tire.
And later, Judge Faith challenges the defendant.
I had it in my purse the whole time, and he took it out of where I kept my bills, stole it, and rewrote it the cell.
That's not a very nice thing to do, sir.
Plaintiff Tamara Collier is suing her ex-friend for money owed on a car loan. Defendant Venetia Medley claims she stopped paying the plaintiff once she found out the money wasn't getting to the finance company for the car.
What do you have to say, ma'am? That doesn't make any sense. The math doesn't add up. How are you related to the plaintiff?
I'm her mother.
Okay.
She didn't pay for July, August, and September.
Who didn't pay that?
Venetia.
I did pay in August. I gave her $285 on the parking lot of our job. She paid
You
it.
still
was behind. You still was behind. On the parking lot of our job, I gave her $285.
So you're mistaken about some of that.
I gave her and she
gave
paid the
you money?
finance company $220.
She gave you that money?
She gave me that money.
Okay. So you don't know. You don't know.
Well, right. It's like hearsay for me, but she did pay for July, August, and September.
You understand what hearsay is?
Yes.
What do you want to say that's not hearsay that I can take into consideration?
Nothing right now.
All right, okay. Okay, you can have a seat, ma'am. Thank you. Why are you suing for slash tires?
When I was going to get the car was on a flat. And when I left her house, I called her and asked her, was they out there effing up my car? She said she didn't know nothing about the tire being on the flat.
How do you know the tires were slashed?
The tire had a little hole. I didn't say the tire was flat. It had a little hole in the tire.
That's what you said in your complaint. You said they looked like the tires had been slashed.
Ma'am.
Did you slash the tires?
I didn't slash the tire. This car sat in my driveway from March into August. So the tires are tire rotted. I'm not trying to keep you from anything. It's your vehicle. It's your problem. Come get it.
Let me see the photo of the car. So this is the troublemaker.
That's before.
And that's the tire on flat. And you have no evidence that they slashed the tires. What is your counterclaim about, ma'am? You're suing for $2,205. Oh, you want all the money you paid
I want my
on the car?
money back because I paid you for a car and you not making a payment.
What months did you miss payments?
July and September, because she came after car in September.
Here's what I find. You both breached the agreement because when you miss a payment, you're in breach under this agreement, under what's written in this agreement. And I find you breached the agreement as well. Because I don't think you were doing what you were supposed to do under this car and it was going in default by your own testimony. I can do simple math. And I do not believe that she is standing here committing perjury when she says the finance company said there was $1,600 owed on that car. I don't believe she's perjuring herself. Okay, here's what we're going to do. First, I don't think your tires were slashed. Clearly there was a problem with the tires. You said you kept putting air in the tires almost every day.
Yeah.
Clearly there was a problem with the tires. They didn't slash the tires. Also, I believe that the defendant was making the payment. She admitted to missing July. And she admits to not paying September because at that point she was done. She'd already found out from the finance company that the payments had not been made. Some of them had not been made and you were behind. I absolutely believe that happened. So here's what I think is fair. when you made your payments, you were making them in good faith under the presumption that she was making these payments to the car company. You made 6 months of payments on this car. You didn't pay the full $315 at any given month, it looks like, but you made a minimum of $280 payments each month. So I'm ordering the plaintiff to pay you back those payments you made. $280 times 6 months, that's $1,680. Judgment for the defendant. Your claim is dismissed, ma'am.
Plaintiff Christina Severson says her ex-lover sold a truck, which was bought with her money. She's suing for embezzlement of property and rental car fees. Defendant Anthony Tony Perez claims he doesn't owe the plaintiff anything because the truck was in his name and he could do with it what he pleased.
Christina Severson, yes. You are suing the defendant Anthony Tony Perez,
Yes, ma'am.
for $6,100 for property embezzlement and rental car fees. You say the two of you purchased a car together and he stole the car and sold it without your knowledge?
Technically, it wasn't stealing me because he put money into it.
Well, tell me what happened exactly. Where did the two of you meet?
At over at the ocean in San Simeon, California.
Okay. How did you meet, sir?
I built bridges and we're building a